Hey, 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 welcome to Games by Tay. My name's Mod J. Today we are doing the long-awaited sequel to our top 100 list, counting down games 80 through 71. The last the last installment of this series was, I think, in early February, but at the end of February, or more like kind of like three-fourths of the way through it, my youngest daughter had a stroke. She's 18, but we are counting blessings all over the place. She had just recently earned her certified nursing assistant certification, and she diagnosed her own stroke in less than a minute. They took her to the hospital, did the necessary tests. Yes, it was a stroke, and the medication that reversed the clot and undid the clot and made it such that the damage was minimized was administered in less than 45 minutes, which is just incredible. So that is part of the reason why I haven't got this done sooner. She has since undergone surgery, in which was what was supposed to be rather routine surgery that would fix the hole in her heart that caused the stroke. The surgery itself went fine, but she had an adverse reaction to some reversal medication, and she almost died. Her blood pressure dropped to 40 over 20, which, if you know anything, some nurses don't even consider that blood pressure. So that happened just a few days ago. So, and since then I had another daughter that underwent surgery. So life has been very busy. Top pile on that a job interview that I was prepping and going to. Uh, Life has had a lot going on. So I appreciate some of you who have reached out to me wondering where the next installment's going to be. And well, here we are. So let's get going. Before we go, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the notification button, and share it with your friends. So, also, I had tried to do this before, but the mic failed. And right now I'm trying a different mic, and it might sound a little different. Let me know in the comments if you like a different mic or if this mic's working fine for you. So let's get started. Starting with game number 81 on my top 100. No, 80. Game 80 on my top 100 of 2025. Let's see here. Number 80. You're going to find in most of these games, these are some games that I haven't played a lot of, but I liked enough to put them on the list and above others, but below others. So some of these games may have only gotten a few plays, but they are where they're at because I wanted to explore them more. This is a game that I got not this last Christmas, but the Christmas before. And it is Sankore. Sankore got a really interesting worker placement system. It's got these four areas of the boards representing the different schools at the University of Timbuktu, I believe. And as you draft workers from the worker pools of each one, each worker has its own type of worker, student. And turning off the sound on my phone, the workers want to go to certain classes. They can go to different classes based off of whether they're religion students or astronomy students or law students or math students. But if a law student goes to a law class, you get an extra bonus. And there are placements in the different areas that reflect the school. And you get points, and you've managed resources, and you get. It's just a lot of fun. This is probably the most, if not one of the most complicated games in my collection. It's complex. I like what's going on, and that's why it's number 80, even after just a few plays. So we'll see how high this climbs the more I play it. And yeah, Sankore, number 80. Number 79 is a game I have not played in a long time, and I don't feel like I would give it very much detail in how it works. I like it because the action selection and the different things that you can do each turn, it has a very unique way of approaching it, and that is Carnegie. Notice it's still in shrink. I've played it online, and I liked it enough to say, you know what, I really like this game. I'm going to get the real deal. Carnegie has these. I really wish I had played it more recently to give it a better description. But the different rounds have these things that will determine what type of actions you can get, and there's these sliders that you can develop that will give you better and better bonuses and things that you can contribute to through philanthropy to reflect the nature of Carnegie. It was just a really good game. I like it. I think it has similar complexity as Sankore, maybe not as complex, but it's a game that I want to get to the table in real time, not online. And it's it's just it's a great production, and it's something that I felt like it belonged on the list. So that's number 79. Number 78. Yeah, number 78. Uh, again, I've played this online, and it is also very complex. There's a lot going on, and that is Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan is it's got a lot of playability based off the setup alone, because the action selection is you moving your workers, which are represented as dice, and the level of the worker is represented by the number on the die. And every time you use that worker, it levels up. And once it gets to a certain level, it retires, and you have to get a new worker. But when you retire workers, that also gives bonuses. But each of these on the board, you've got these different areas on the board that you can move your worker to, and you can move up to like 3 spaces, but you have to go in around. So it's kind of like a rondel action selection system, and it is just got so much thinkiness to it, very crunchy. But it's not for the faint of heart. It's definitely not a beginner game. So Teotihuacan has got, I think, a lot going for it. It's got a lot of replayability, and it would reward repeated plays, just like these other games would. So I think I really want to get this out. This is the 5th player expansion box, not the full game. This is just easier to have out. But Teotihuacan is probably something that I wouldn't want to start with 5 players. I wouldn't want to start with 4 players. I probably want to start with 3, just to see it, to get them used to it, and then expand from there and see how well it goes. I think that it is a very long game, and I worry that there might be some significant downtime that would be a thumbs down for the game. But I think the game overall is really good. Um, and there's a lot of different ways to score points, tracks you can climb, sets that you can collect, tiles that you can move and set. And it's something that I really enjoy. So that's 78. My list turned off. There we go. All right, number 77 is a game that I've gotten out several times. And I worry that it's just not hitting it with my gaming group. And that is Fall of the Mountain King. I actually have my name in this game because I won a contest in naming one of the characters that you can use, one of the heroes. So it was really kind of neat. But Fall of the Mountain King is an area control game in which you are fighting a losing battle, and you get points based off of your control of uh, different uh, alcoves, so to speak, and you can use heroes for different things, and it's numbers. It's there's the you're fighting off gnomes, as you can see all these gnomes in the background looking all sinister. It's kind of a prequel game to another game on my list, but it's a game that I really want to dive deeper into, even more so than the ones I just mentioned, because I feel like this is more accessible than the other games. So there's no reason why I shouldn't dive deeper into it because I can get to it easier. So that is number 77, Fall of the Mountain King. Okay, number 76, I don't have here. And I have not played it in a long, long time. I won't even tell you how long I haven't played it. But it is why I actually don't like Risk very much. Because I played this and I thought to myself, wow, this takes all the luck out of Risk. This actually feels like real time warfare. And it is diplomacy. And diplomacy gets so much hate because it's like a relationship killer and things like that. Well, it's a game, people. And yeah, I mean, the nature of the game can, in theory, and probably does, have people targeting other people specifically. So it can get personal, but it shouldn't. It's a game that has that, and you go into it. It's conniving, it's backstabbing, it's coordinating. It's you don't have a million armies and you're moving it from district to district, rolling dice. You have one army, and you write down an order for that army to move to a different area, adjacent area. And if you are trying to conquer that area, you need to have more support for that move into that area than your opponent. And you can get support from other adjacent armies of your color or from allies. Allies can pledge their support. Now, they don't have to carry through with it, but it's just a really good game. And it's based off of World War I Europe. That's how I was introduced to it. I had honors world history when I was in high school. And for World War I, we played this game. And it made it so real. Made you understand the geographicness of the war and the different relationships that different players had representing these countries, what was in it for them, and things like that. So it was something that I never forgot, and I really really want to get it again. It's in storage right now. That's how long it's been since I played it. But it's like I said, this is a game that I haven't played in much longer than the other games I've just talked about, and I still remember how to play it. It is just a really good classic game. That this game's been around for, gosh, 50 years or more, probably more, 60 or 70, maybe. I think the guy that created it in the 50s or 60s. I'm not sure. He was a Harvard guy, and he created it. And it's a game that even people of state, Henry Kissinger said this was his favorite game. So anyway, um, diplomacy. Don't let it deter you to hear other people saying that it's a relationship killer. You have to know what you're getting into when you go in, and let the chips fall where they may. Okay, so that was 76. Um, 75. This is a game that is fairly entry level, and we played it recently with just family and friends. It's Ticket to Ride. And I got Ticket to Ride Europe. The difference between Ticket to Ride and Ticket to Ride Europe are there's some, I think, additional mechanisms going in here that kind of make it more dynamic. You have these stations that you can put at nexuses that will enable you to complete routes that have already been completed by other people. Just one segment of the route, and I think that that is very strategic. Makes a set collection route building game more dynamic and more open. So the in this game, you're literally collecting sets of cards to lay down tracks, and these tracks are represented by your individual trains. There's a more deluxe version, but I'm not gonna. I've already got this. I'm not going to go after the more deluxe version. If I hadn't gotten this, I'd probably go after the more deluxe version. But it's the same gameplay. It's this. I think that this particular version has very good presentation. I'm not bothered by it. And if you can find this, generally you can find this on sale during like Prime Days or Christmas time for around $20, $25, and I wouldn't pay more than that. I think that this is a game that's been out long enough that this should be affordable to just about anyone. So that's Ticket to Ride at 75. Not $75, 75 on the list. Okay, number 74. Again, a game that just hasn't gotten to the table very much. And I was really excited about this game. It's a pick up and deliver. It's In Too Deep. And watch that shine hit the light. And yeah, I'm kind of, I'll do this. There you go. That light the from the Veiled Fate boxes is getting hit. But anyway, glaring at you. In Too Deep was one of the first games I backed in crowdfunding, and it has a really neat mechanism of you're picking up and delivering things from one area to another, and it's this roundabout thing, and you've got barriers that would block you from going into different areas, but what you're doing is you're hacking into the mind of these criminals and you're having them do your work for you. And as you hack in, you gain more abilities using that criminal. So you can use their special abilities, but you also gain corruption, and you don't want corruption. But what really stood out to me about this game is that the areas on the board, when you use it, it draws what they call heat to that area. And the way that it apportions heat to the different areas, I thought was really creative. And I think that kind of makes me maybe more enamored with the game than I should be, but I really like it. The art is great, the presentation is great, the mechanics maybe weren't exactly what I thought it would be, but it's still something I want to delve deeper into deep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See what I did there? Okay, so that is number 74. Okay, number 73. We've gotten this out a few times, but interestingly enough, the last time we got it out, we played it wrong. We didn't refresh ourselves on the rules as much as we should, and that is Marvel United. I'm not a huge co-op guy, and I'm definitely not one of these guys that has to get all of this. If I were to get everything from Marvel United, it would cost thousands. And I've had the opportunity to, and I just turned it down. Because I think this is a system that, other than a few mechanics that they've introduced in other expansions and renditions of it, really plays the same no matter what you have. Um, I understand that in the X-Men version, you can have heroes, you have characters that can play both as heroes or as villains. And and you got different locations and different powers. But I think a lot of these characters are really just for having the character's sake rather than they add something mechanically different. I'm probably wrong to some extent. It's probably a vast oversimplification, but I think that this game doesn't hit the table enough for me to invest in more. Maybe if that changes, I'd want more, but at present I don't. And I'm not a mini painter. It's just not something I'm going to invest in, considering I'm living in a condo and I don't really have a space for a hobby room. I'm lucky I have this room for my games. So uh, I could see why people would enjoy painting these because they're characters that some people have grown up with. But the the knock against this game for me is that one, it's co-op, and co-op games are hit and miss with me. And I think this is a very accessible co-op game where you play a card and you can perform that card. And once the first player is played, the next player plays their card and they perform that action and the action from the card before you, before then. So it builds off each other, and you have to beat the boss. You have to beat mini bosses in order to get to the big boss. And it's a firefighting type game. It's kind of placing figuring out where to place your emphasis to get to the big guy and to stop everybody. Um, I think we've played with all of them. Taskmaster was the hardest so far. I don't think we've beaten him. But we've beaten Red Skull. I don't know how I can't remember how we've done on Ultron. That might have been the one we played wrong. But I think it's a very accessible cooperative game that is good to play with your family. And I just realized that the box top's on backwards, or on not backwards, upside down, because the back. Yeah. Anyway, neither here nor there. This is a game that I think if you're trying to get your kids or your family into gaming, this is a very good entry point. So that is number 74. Number 75, not 4, 73. This is a game that I've wondered, I've really wondered about, because when I don't play it for a while, and even if it's a short period of time, I think to myself, yeah, I'm not that big on it. But then I play it, and there's two ways of playing it. And let me introduce the game. The Isle of Cats. I was going to put the Isle of Cats actually lower on my list this year. And then I played it. And like I said, there's two ways of playing it. There's the family version where you simply just draft tiles. And then there's the full version where you have a hand of cards and you draft cards, and some of these can be personal scoring objectives, and some of them can be ways of getting cats and getting treasure and things like that. And you're trying to fill up your boat with these cats. And there's different, like I said, scoring objectives, and you probably want to try and capitalize on that. And it's the reason why this isn't really always, it kind of goes up and down with me, is one, I want to play the full game, but all too often to get it to the table, we play the simplified family version. And the last time we played it was a family version. I won. I liked it. I really enjoyed myself, but I feel like I'm missing out. And another reason is there's another game that I have not played. And I looked into it. I go, gosh, that sounds like fun. I like how that works. And it's a tile layer very similar to this. It's called Planet Unknown. I've never played it, but I feel like I would like it more than I like the Isle of Cats because it has research tracks and resource management in that way. And yeah, there's resource management here in getting fish and luring the cats and things like that, but not the same. And the card play, I think sometimes drafting the cards can be in a way a buzzkill. So I think that Isle of Cats, while I'm not wanting to get rid of it, I think I still need to figure out where it really fits for me, whether it should be higher or whether it should be lower. And that can only be done by playing it more. So, Isle of Cats. Okay, that was number 72. Yeah, number 72. Last one on the list now is a game I don't get why my family doesn't like it. I think it's very accessible. It's fun. It's got a lot going on for it. I even bought an expansion for it. Haven't played it yet, and that's been a long time ago. That is Colt Express. This was recently on crowdfunding for like a 10th anniversary one where you could get like actual figurines for it and all the characters. And I'd like all the characters. Um, I don't have I think there are like 4 or 5 characters now that I don't have. But with different abilities, I like this. This is a very interesting deck man or hand management game. It In a way it's a deck building game, but not in a good way because the only way you add cards to your hand are if you get shot by other players, and that clogs your hand up when you draw cards. It is at probably the prototypical train robbery game because the board is an actual train where you can be in the train cars or on the roof, and you're picking up treasure, you're fighting other players for it, and you're trying to end the game with the most money. It's a really innovative board. It's a great little game to play, but for some reason my family just doesn't gravitate toward it. Don't know. Maybe I need to try and just get it to the table and say, we're playing Colt Express. But I kind of know how that works already. So, anyway, that is number 71. That is the list for 80 through 71. If you like what you saw, comment on down below. Tell me which games do you think maybe should be higher, maybe should be lower, what you think of the games that I mentioned, and hit me up in the comments. That way I'll be sure to respond. Until then, please remember, no board games were harmed in the filming of this episode. So keep your mind at ease. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.